Hi, I'm Rick Grijalba.
And I'm Anne-Marie Grijalba.
And this is
The Joy of the Faith. Happy Father's Day!
With Father's Day coming up around the corner, we wanted to share some of the things that we love about our fathers and 4 essentials to being a great father.
So, first, fathers have to be dedicated to their families. First to their wife and then their children. So a great memory that I have growing up is my dad coming home from work. He would greet my mom first. So even if he, saw us children first, he'd say, "Hey, I have to go find mom. Can you help me find her?" And so when he found my mom, he'd greet her with a kiss and see how her day was, and then we'd say hello to all of us children. And it was just really a profound memory that I have.
So much so that we've adopted it today.
Yeah, and it's great. So husbands, I challenge you to greet your wife with a kiss, and she'll love it. And then my dad was also so dedicated and attentive to me and my siblings. A great memory that I have is just my dad would read to me at night, and I remember clinging to him so tightly because I never wanted him to leave my side. But of course, without fail, every morning I'd wake up and he'd be gone. Oh, so sad. But then, at least we had the next night. So it's just so fun.
Oh,
and then as I grew up, he would always be there to help me with schoolwork or scholarship applications. So no matter what, he was there without fail. Even if, as a doctor working long hours, he always found time for me and my siblings. And he would always tell us how much he loved us. And there was one time even where one of my friends had shared with me, Anne-Marie, I wish my dad would tell me that. And it just broke my heart, realizing that not all fathers, share that with their children.
The second essential, and the thing that I love most about my dad, is the ability to sacrifice. Fathers have to be able to sacrifice for their family.
Yeah.
And my thing is really small, when you're at the dinner table and there's the last slice of pizza or a dessert, and it's "Hey Dad, you want this?" But you really want it yourselves. And he's "Oh no, I didn't even want it. I'm really full," and stuff like that. Even though that he wants it, that was really cool seeing that he would do that.
Yeah.
Even on a bigger level,
yeah.
He would sacrifice more than anyone else. I mean, he would wake up in the middle of the night for things.
Yes.
I remember in 8th grade, I was preparing for high school football, so we would weightlift, and he would wake up at 4 in the morning and wake me up and be "All right, Ray, we're going to go to the YMCA." And we would get there at 5 o'clock, right as it was opening.
Yeah.
And it was such a cool memory, here me and my dad are lifting. That's so cool. What a bond that was.
Definitely.
And then I'll never forget when I was going to take the ACT, he woke up early in the morning because the ACT starts early in the morning and made me an omelet. And that was just such a cool thing, something that I'll always remember.
And third, fathers need to be stable and consistent. Women have hormones.
Really?
Yeah. And so men need to be stable. We joke sometimes, if I'm having an emotional, hormonal day, Ray will be "What if I just acted like you?" I said, "Ray, you cannot act like me. I need you to be stable."
It is fun, right?
Oh,
But yes,
a lot
men,
of fun.
be stable for your wives. So
Please.
the fourth essential, which goes along with that, is that fathers need to be able to lead their family. I mean, think about managers where you don't know what kind of attitude they're going to have when you walk in the morning. Some days they're super friendly, other days they're just a jerk. So being stable and consistent is so critical as a leader. And people listening might be "Oh, here this guy is. Here they're talking about men leading the family. What an old-fashioned idea,
Mm-hmm.
But actually, Dr. Meg Meeker, who is a world-renowned pediatrician, gave a TED Talk on fathers leading the household. And it's in the description below. Super awesome talk. And it's really neat because when you think about it, those that lead are not those that are just domineering. I was in a leadership development program for Lockheed Martin. So I got to hear from some of the world's greatest leaders. And something that resonated across the board was that leaders need to be humble. So as the man leading the family, you need to be humble. And you might not have that personality that's naturally a leader. Your wife might be more of a leader than you. But something that you can do, and it's something that I learned from this very awesome guy, was that he said his parents never argued in front of them. They would always go into their room and make their decisions together. So that could be one of the things. You could meet with your wife and make those decisions together, because leaders aren't the ones that always have the best ideas. They're those that are best at implementing those, right? So the wife might have all the ideas. She may be leading in the traditional sense, right? She might have had the idea and been "Well, that was my idea." But they're leading together. It's a united front.
Right, and then also the wife is being humble in the sense of letting her husband lead and take it on as if it's his own.
Yeah,
Because
here's my idea.
They're one.
Exactly.
Yeah, and their ideas can be one and shared. That's really profound.
And that goes both ways. So leaders are good listeners, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as the wife, you're also a good listener, right? So it's totally that teamwork. And as people I work with know, teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
So a final thing is that fathers need to lead their family to heaven, right? That's the greatest thing. You can provide materially and stuff, but if you don't care for the souls of your children and help guide them towards heaven, that really is the point of it, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason.
Looking at the bigger picture.
Exactly, the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And it's really, my mom loves the song called Lead Me, which you can
So
see.
does my dad.
Yes, it's a super awesome song, so check it out. But it shows that, all these things you might be like, gosh, being dedicated, sacrificing, being stable, leading the family, like, how can I do this all by myself?
Yeah.
It just shows that, like, when you have a solid prayer life and you rely on God, you cast out all your stresses and you realize that it's not yourself, because work and all these things, they can drive you crazy.
Yeah.
But when you, have God as your focus and you're trying to be like Him and say, like, God, I don't know how I'm going to do all this, but I rely and I trust in you, you can do it.
Yes.
Right?
We encourage you to listen to this song. It is powerful.
It is so beautiful. And it's just like in so many things, like casting my stresses and stuff on God so that I can love my family as best as I can. And it's actually pretty crazy when the father goes to church with the mother, there's a 75% chance that the children will attend church. When it's only the mother and the father doesn't go, that drops almost in half to 40%. So it just shows the impact that it has. And when you think about it, it's so true, because what is the father? As a child, your father's like the greatest person in the universe. He's almost like God. Fathers are the first glimpse of what God is, right? So if they see their father that doesn't pray, why would they want to pray? If they see their father doesn't go to church, why would they not want to go to church? Some people, we hear their friends say, oh, well, my 4-year-old says, Dad doesn't have to go to church. Why do I have to go to church?
Yes.
And Anne-Marie has a super awesome example of her dad.
So I just remember growing up, my dad, he would always start his day really early in the morning praying on his knees. So just giving his day up to God. And that was really just incredible witnessing that as a child. And then also before he'd come home from work, he always paid a visit to the church to visit Jesus. And I'm one of 6 children, and we are all still practicing the Catholic faith. And that's really incredible.
So that totally backs up all the statistics,
Yes.
And it just shows that, what a role the father has, right? So I hope you all have enjoyed these 4 essentials. Have an awesome Father's Day, and God love you.